I'm really like right now. I'm excited by Hedron and the PulseChain charts. Those are good looking charts, and obviously Hex is compressed down into this tiny little level that I mean, we haven't traded like this for quite a while. So if I go to the main chart and try to go to like a longer time frame, like let's say a daily chart again, yeah, we just haven't had these nice little tiny compressed candles since like before we ran up last year in August.
What? Yeah, can you explain like why are the compressed candles a good thing?
Yeah, so they're a good thing because it means that the price is more under control, and like the balance between the bulls and the bears is more in alignment. It's in more of an equilibrium. So bulls can push. It basically is like a neutral trading environment. So like if neutral means that a bottoming is happening. So like if you see back here where this looks all these tiny compressed candles back here, like we haven't traded outside of like a 10% range for a long time. It's been like over a month. That's not normal for Hex. And what I mean by that is it's only normal for Hex for short periods of time, like here where it did it for like 20 to 30 days before it started its mega move up to 50 cents. Right. Um, and like if you zoom in here and go back to what these looked like back then, this is what you can expect to see current times once this thing finally starts to take off. It's like we might be trading like this right now in these tiny compressed candles, and then over the coming months we'll have they'll start to get bigger, and then you'll start to see them a move to basically push price high enough to make some people whole to sell off their position to bet the backed up interest that needs to be sold in the system, and then eventually that runs out, and then you finally can start to make higher levels, and it happens quickly. Just because that's how like the inflation works. Like all the big stakes have come off this year that were 2-year, 3-year stakes from the beginning times, and so now that all that inflation's been pushed through the system on this sell-off, and now we're seeing a more balanced and stable trading range, we can start to expect to see a bottoming and potentially a trend reversal.
Nice. There's a question here from UFO to go. What's the Hedron liquidity looking like now and forecast?
Hedron liquidity looks like pretty good. Like we're trending up, and we're near highs in recent time anyway, for sure. So the liquidity looks good as far as like the amount of dollars locked in the liquidity pool. And then as far as like in the actual, let's look at what the trading ranges look like on it, where all the liquidity is sitting. This is new for me too, so you're actually learning it live with me. So yeah, we have a huge support wall behind us. And then we have just a couple more bars where it can be accumulated before, demand is just going to push you outside of the liquidity zone, and the price will start to slip higher, essentially. Alternatively, the bearish look would be like you'd get to the end of this wall, and some giga whale would dump all their tokens and cause mass chaos and start causing all other of the giga whales to also dump their tokens through all this liquidity back to here. But we've seen some pretty large sells on the chart already in the last few days, and they're basically being absorbed and then followed through with upside price action. So there's just not a lot of people willing to sell under these circumstances on a coin that's doing so well, price appreciation wise. So then the tendency is to think that the strategy is actually that this is being priced forward, and that this is a huge liquidity is just an accumulation bid wall, like where people are happy to buy tons of it here, and then the people are willing to make some fees while people accumulate in this zone, and then price starts to move outside of here quicker and quicker over days of time, and then this all will get reset again out here in the future at higher prices. This will make a new wall, and we'll trade in a range much higher after this expansion. And you don't have a lot of you don't have a lot of liquidity to the downside. So if there was some macro event, if Hex crashed to 1 cent, Hedron would be hurt by it, I think. Maybe not as hard because it's so strong and held up so well. And you can see that on this Hedron versus Hex chart, where it's near all-time highs against it. And the other coin that's also doing that, I said earlier, was Pulse Doge is the other one that's just like tapping its all-time highs. So they're kind of competing for hex valuation right now in a new economy built on those.